YouTube, this your man Spiel Dog. You know, uh, if the rumors are true that Errol Spence is gonna get a new trainer, that means that Errol Spence is coming to get his spot back. That means he coming back more serious and more dedicated than he probably been in a long time. That's a big change for a fighter like Errol Spence to go from Derek James to a new trainer, and Derek been training him since he was like 16 or 17 years old, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I think when Derek James got exposed to the money and he started getting and started training other fighters. I thought that him and Earl lost something. You know, just go look at the media workout before him and Crawford fought, and look how sloppy they was on the mitts. And then go look at when he was training Earl Spence. I think he was finna fight. What was that guy name? Van Vander. I can't remember the guy name, but this was before Earl was champion, and he was at Floyd Mayweather's gym training him and Derek James. And just look how sharp and crispy they look working together. And I really believe by him working with Frank Martin, he got Mel, he got Ryan Garcia, he went and got Anthony Joshua. How in the hell you gonna give Earl your undivided attention? And Earl paid for it against Crawford. I'm not the only one who said so. Right after the fight, Antonio Tarver and James Toney, they said the same thing I said. That man, the trainer, did not get Earl ready for that fight. He was not prepared to go in there like he should have been to fight Terrence Crawford, but he was in shape. And that's why I kept saying I didn't blame it so much on Spence because he didn't quit fighting. The referee stopped the fight, so he was in shape. He just hadn't been prepared properly. That's how I felt, and I still feel like that. And I think if Earl changed the trainers, he felt the same way too. He can't make Derek. Earl is not the kind of guy that's gonna really have a lot of confrontation with nobody. He just gonna do what he did, move on. If that's the case, and if Earl get a new trainer, that means he's gonna fight on. If he gonna fight on, Earl been a winner his entire life. That one loss to Crawford do not diminish all the stuff that he's done. It might do with people that just didn't like him to begin with anyway, but I always felt like Spence was a real soldier, and at some point he was gonna come back and redeem himself. I thought even with Crawford, I think Earl is a better fighter than what he showed that night. Crawford is a good fighter, a damn good fighter, but Bo Mack had Crawford prepared for that fight. He had him prepared to fight Errol Spence that night. Errol Spence was just prepared to fight. That's a big difference. It's a big difference in a guy getting you ready for a certain guy or a guy just getting you ready. Earl seemed like he was now. Derek was saying the right stuff in the corner. I felt like, but all I kept telling people was, don't do no good to say the right shit in the corner if we ain't went over that shit in training camp. You understand? And so, you know, Earl probably felt like he was on his own in that fight. And hey, I think it might be the best thing for him as long as he get the right trainer. And I think Earl Spence, like I say, the boy ain't made it to the Olympics and did all this shit in boxing and can't fight. He the one was going in the ring doing the fighting. Derek James was just taking credit. And that's what I kept saying too. If you get all the credit when he wins, you got to wear some of this blame in this loss. You got to wear it. And I felt like he didn't get out in front of some stuff. I felt like he could have shielded Earl from a lot of the shit that he got because the trainer should have stepped up and said, I didn't get him because you didn't. It didn't look like they had no specific game plan for Crawford. It just like they was trying to fight him like anybody else. And he's not anybody else. And your trainer's supposed to know this. The fighter might could be lackadaisical about shit like that, but the trainer, it's his job to been looking at tapes of Crawford, and he said that he hadn't even been looking at them. Well, that was ridiculous because that's the biggest fight y'all got in the division. You should have been doing the same thing Bo Mack done been doing, getting that boy ready for Spence for some years now. He didn't just train for Spence in that last training camp. Bud been preparing for that fight for years because he knew that was their big showdown. That was his Tommy Hearn Sugar Ray fight. And he went in there and took advantage of it. Gotta give him his credit for that. Bo Mac had him ready. DJ did not have Earl ready. He didn't. He just brought him up. He just brought him in there. And every one of them look Frank, Earl, Mel, tell me which one of them looked good last year. None of them. That's because the trainer trying to train too many fighters and didn't hire nobody. If you're going to have all these fighters, then you need to get you a staff. Because one man, who's to say somebody going to get the short end of the stick, you're going to be tired and not really feel like it with one or two of them guys when you got all these motherfuckers coming in slots. And Earl is too big of a champion. He did too much for Derrick James to have got for it to go down like this, and you be running around picking up all these fighters and not having time for the guy who got you here. So Earl is not the type that's gonna be confrontational about it. So, I'm thinking, I know his dad was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, man, you sent my son out here on some bullshit. And I think I'm glad to hear that he's gonna continue on fighting because he should. He's too good of a fighter. That one loss do not diminish him in my eyes. I think he's still the same guy he always was. Now I was pissed off that night. I lost a lot of money on that shit. Folks had a right to be mad. Because we thought you was gonna come in there and beat Spence. I don't know who the fuck came in there that night. It damn sure wasn't no Errol Spence. But I think him making a change is probably. I think it's might be like a breath of fresh air to some degree. Him and Blu-ray work good together. I remember that him and Blu-ray work good together. So whatever he do, I hope he have him in the mix somewhere. And I'm looking forward to when he come back. The cataract surgery. My mom had it. It's not that big of a deal. As far as the surgery. And now with the eyesight, the vision, it probably was a problem, but this not gonna have him where he gonna be out the ring for a lot of time. That's not that big an issue. Now, if he gonna get a new trainer, then you don't go straight to Crawford. He need to get. That's why I say Erickson Lubin is that'll be a good gauge test for Spence. Spence should be able to beat Lubin, but Lubin is a damn good fighter. It will be a good fight. I think if Earl gonna fight at 154, if I was training him, Erickson Lubin would be that'd be one of the first guys I would want to match him up with. J Rock, if he's still over there, that's a good fight. It's a lot of fights for Earl at 154 that he can take before he go in for a title shot. And I mean a lot of damn good fighters that he can fight to really find out where he at before he get back, before him and Crawford or whatever the hell he gonna do coming down the line. But I'm just glad to know he gonna still be fighting because there's too much left in him. Although he got punished in that fight against Crawford, he did some good things in there too. I seen him crack Crawford a couple times, and Crawford felt it, regardless of what he say. I don't watch the fight too many times. My neighbor, he'll tell you the same thing. We watched it about 2 weeks ago. So I think Spence gonna come back better than ever. I really do. I'm hoping that anyway, and we'll see what happens. But I don't. If he switches trainers, I don't have a problem with it. I just hope he get the right guy in there to work with him for this next half of his career. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.